I want to suck your blood. What do you think? So at least here in the US, we have an iconic image of a vampire, which originated in film and television and has pervaded the culture. There's a certain way vampires look, a certain way they dress, a certain way they carry themselves, and a certain way they sound. So if an American puts on a Dracula act, that performance will inevitably come with a vampire accent, which is our best attempt at a sort of Eastern European or maybe Slavic accent. And the classic vampire line, which I don't even know where I heard it, but it is embedded in my mind, is I want to suck your blood. Now, this is a made-up accent, but it has a lot of elements in common with real accents that people have when they speak English. So today, let's have a little fun and analyze what Americans are doing when we put on and take off that vampire accent. And we'll also do the same thing in reverse. So if you want to put on the American accent, what do you do? In other words, let's think of both of these accents like a costume, something you can put on, wear for as long as you like, and take off whenever you want. And we'll analyze the process for doing that. Now, one of my mottos is brains plus heart. In other words, I love to get analytical with language, but let's not forget to also feel what's happening with language. And by the way, if that approach sounds appealing to you, let me know by writing brains plus heart in the comments. And that way I will know that you also like to connect with language on both an intellectual and a feeling level. Brains plus heart. Write it in the comments if that's you too. So before we analyze anything, let's see how much you can get just by sheer instinct and imitation. I'm going to invite you to imitate both accents, vampire and American. So just relax, have fun, and imitate both accents as best you can. Now, if you're a practical person and you want to know, besides having fun, what practical value you can get from this exercise, there's a practice technique called negative practice, where you intentionally do the wrong thing and then the right thing, and you compare the two sensations. And this can be really effective for pronunciation and accent training work, because it allows you to hear and feel the difference between two sounds and two mouth positions. Now, accents are beautiful, and we might as well learn to love them since it's very difficult to make them completely disappear. And they add flavor and character to your speech. But of course, at the same time, we want to have as much awareness and control as possible over the sounds coming out of our mouth. So this exercise is great for building that awareness and control. So like I said, just relax, have fun, and imitate these two accents as best you can. First, let's do vampire, and I'll give you 2 chances to listen, and then you do it with me. Ready? I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your blood. Okay, now do it with me. I want to suck your blood. And now just you. All right, very nice. I bet you were very convincing. Okay, now let's do American, and I'll give you 3 chances to listen this time. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your blood. Okay, you ready? Do it with me. I want to suck your blood. And one time, just you. Okay, how do you feel? I bet you sounded very convincing again. And by the way, just to let you know, this is the slow, deliberate version of the American accent. It's a little easier to start with, and later we'll do the more relaxed, conversational version, which is the way people talk most of the time. And also, it's a lot of fun to practice. So now you got what you could just by feeling it. It's time to get analytical. So let's listen to the two accents again and see which differences stand out the most. Vampire. I want to suck your blood. American. I want to suck your blood. Okay, so what difference stood out the most to you? And if you want to be super interactive with me, which I love, you can pause the video right now and go to the comments and tell me what difference stood out the most to you. And that'll be a fun way for us to interact with each other. So I would say that probably the easiest difference to identify is the VW substitution. Is that the one that you mentioned as well? So the vampire does what so many speakers do when they don't have a W sound in their language, and he just substitutes it. He replaces it with a V. And this actually goes both ways. People who don't have a W substitute a V, and people who don't have a V in their native language often substitute a W. And so we're going to practice one of each of these two challenging, often confused sounds, a V and a W. So the vampire version sounds like this, and I want you to watch my mouth. I want, right? I want. So that first sound is a V. What am I doing to make the V? I want. So where is the contact? The contact is right here and here, the lip, right where the wet part starts. And I actually have a video devoted to the V sound that if you want more practice, you can check it out. So yeah, we need contact between the wet part of the lip and the teeth, light contact and vibration. And the V needs to vibrate freely, which means that this top lip needs to go up a little bit to give it space to vibrate freely. You see how my top lip kind of arches a little bit to make space for the V? And the contact is very light. And I think it feels and sounds really nice. So I can see why a vampire or anyone would be attracted to this lovely sound. I want. Yes. Now, the American version, I want. So here we use the W sound, W. So you're watching my mouth. What am I doing? W. You can see that the lips are involved, but in this case, both lips are coming together. And I'm making a tiny little, almost a circle, almost as if I'm getting ready to give a kiss, right? In fact, you can practice this by kissing the air. Mwah, mwah, wah, wah, mwah, mwah, wah, wah. Yes. And sometimes I tell people to imagine that they are picking up a grain of rice with their lips. So you have a grain of rice here. You're going to pick it up with your lips and then drop it. Wah, wah, wah. So whichever image helps you the most, go with that one, and you can practice your wah. And if you're a Spanish speaker, you want to be sure not to get any kind of a G-like sound in your throat, como si estuvieras haciendo gárgaras. No. And focus just on using the lips, wah, not but just wah. Yes. And that's going to sound really clear and clean and lovely. Okay. So I want. 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 Are you feeling it? Okay, let's move forward. What is the next difference that stands out to you? I would say that for me, it would be the vowels. So now let's listen to these accents side by side and notice their vowels. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your blood, your blood. So what are the vowels the vampire is using? Ah, 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 kind of an ah sound, right? And ah is a pretty open vowel. I mean, how much space is there? Ah, maybe this much, one finger sideways, or maybe here, somewhere in that range, right? Fairly open. What is the American doing? I want to suck your blood. Suck, blood, let's compare suck and blood in the two accents. Suck, suck, blood, blood, blood. Yes. So can you tell that the sound is the one that the American is using, and it's much narrower? So English has a lot of different vowels, and this is one that is tricky for most people who learn English as a non-native language. And most of the time it's because they just don't believe that their mouth should really be that narrow, but it is. We barely open our mouths for that vowel. Now, I think that the easiest way to find this vowel is by starting with the M sound. So go ahead and do the M sound right now. And I'm going to talk to you. You be doing the okay? So you're doing the and what is happening with your mouth? What is your tongue doing? It's resting on the bottom of your mouth, right? Completely relaxed. What about your teeth? Are they touching? Probably not, right? You could do the with your teeth touching, but that's more effort. And the doesn't really require much effort at all. You can be very relaxed and do and your teeth will be slightly separated. And like we said, your tongue is resting on the bottom of your mouth. Do you feel that? How far apart are your teeth? They're not touching. So how far apart are they? Like a millimeter, right? Maybe something about like this. Let's see. Yeah, that's about how far apart my teeth are naturally when I do the Now, all you have to do is open your lips. Ah, 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 ah. That's the ah. That's it. So relaxed, so narrow, so effortless that it's hard for people to get because they make too much effort. But when you relax, start with an M and then just open your lips, you're automatically doing the ah, ah, ah. That's the ah. Now let's do it with suck, blood, ma, ma, suck, blood, ma, ma. Vampire, suck, 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 suck. Blood, 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 blood. Okay, suck blood. I'm not dealing with want because want, the vowel in want has some variation. This is not true with most words, but want, if you look it up in the dictionary, you'll see that it should be pronounced with an ah sound according to the dictionary, like want. But in practice, it's my perception that a lot of the time we pronounce it with something a lot closer to the sound. So I want one sounds like basically the same vowel, don't you think? Or very close. I want one. I don't know. Tell me if you agree with me. Some people might not agree with me. Tell me what you think. So let's practice it that way. Want, suck, blood. And if your vowel in want is a little more open, that's okay. All right. Now let's move on to difference number 3. I don't know what else you have noticed, but I want to draw our attention to one tiny detail that really makes a big difference in how the language sounds, feels, and flows. And that is simply the pronunciation of the word to. So how does the vampire pronounce the word to. Let's pay attention. I want to suck your blood. I want to. He pronounces it basically like the word to. His T is a little different from mine, but the vowel is oo, right? Like the word to. How does the American pronounce to? Let's observe. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck, to. So what is this t? Are you spitting on me? No, t is all that's left of the word to after the vowel reduces down to the tiny, tiny schwa, your best friend, the schwa. T is all that's left of the word to. And so look at my mouth when I pronounce it. I want to suck. I can say it with a smile. Not only can, I do say it with a smile. My lips are not going forward at all for an ooh sound. It's not to suck. It's, look, if I do to suck, my lips are going ooh, no, that's not happening. To suck, to suck, to suck. Say it with a smile. To suck, to suck, to suck. And in fact, it's very interesting. If these are if these are your teeth and this is your tooth ridge, on that bump behind your teeth, your tongue, t, 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 for the American and also British T goes t, t, t. That's also where you touch for the S, t, and then s, t, s, t, s, t, s, t, suck, t, suck. Yeah, so you're just staying all right there on the tooth ridge. To suck, yes. So let's practice each, focusing on the word to. I want to suck your blood. 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 Okay. Now, the fourth difference I want to talk about is something that people feel, but it's usually harder for them to put their finger on, to identify. And that's the rhythm and melody of the language. We'll look at these two aspects together because they occur together. So let's pay attention to the rhythm and melody of these phrases. I want to suck your blood. Ah, ah, ah. So the vampire's pitch range is pretty narrow, right? I want. It has a little rise and fall, but the range is narrow. I want to suck your blood. What about the Americans? I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your blood, right? So we have more variation in the pitch range. And also in terms of rhythm, it has this sort of bouncy quality, right? I want to suck your blood. Hop, hop, jump. Hop, hop, jump, right? Da, 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 right? Whereas this one is, I want to suck your blood. I tell you what, let's sit down for the rest of this exercise, shall we? So, like we said before, this, I want to suck your blood, would be an American speaking slowly and deliberately, which gives her or him a chance to stress all of the words with meaningful content. Want, suck, blood. I want to suck your blood. And this is a good exercise for practicing the difference between content words and function words. So the content words have meaningful content and the function words are there for the structure mostly, and they do not get emphasized. In fact, they usually get quite reduced. So want, suck, blood. Do it with me. Want, suck, blood. Want, suck, blood. Again, want, suck, blood. And now I want to suck your blood. 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 Yes, but we don't usually speak that slowly and deliberately. When we speak at a normal pace, we tend to just stress one word in a thought group, the focus word. And more often than not, the focus word will be the last noun in that group, in that thought group. And that's the case with this sentence. I want to suck your blood. Blood is the last noun, and it's also the focus word. It's the one we stress the most. And when we speak at a more relaxed, natural pace, it's the only one that we really stress very much. And that would sound more like this. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your blood. So you got the rhythm, a little beat on suck and a big stress on blood. I want to suck your blood, right? So the way to really get this is to relax. And how can you relax if you're doing something that feels different to you? Well, you do it by practicing it over and over until it starts to feel natural. But here's something to keep in mind. It's a really good idea to start slow because that allows you to relax. So if you try to do it quickly at first, I'm going to suck your blood. It can feel very choppy and not flowing and effortless, which is what we're going for. So start off slow where you can have control and then you can build up your speed. So let's do that. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your blood. Yes. Now, when you're ready, you can take that and speed it up a little bit. Maybe you're ready for it already. And if not, with a little more practice on your own, you'll be ready soon. So now I think we're ready to bring it all together and feel these two accents side by side because we know so many of the elements and we've practiced so many of the elements that go into each. So let's bring it all together. I want to suck your blood. Again, I want to suck your blood. 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 What do you think? Was that pretty fun and also really interesting? And now you have this phrase stored in your mind, and it is not stored superficially. You felt it, analyzed it, and practiced it enough that you created a lot of neural connections going to different aspects of this phrase, and you're going to remember it. And so you can return to this phrase anytime. You don't need an app. You don't need YouTube. You don't need a teacher. You have the phrase here and here, and you can go back to this phrase anytime and practice and feel what it's like to shift back and forth between accents. You can put one on and take it off, put the other one on and take it off whenever you want, and continue to develop relaxed control over your speech. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know by giving it a like. And that lets me know that you found value here. And it also helps me reach other people. And I also invite you to subscribe to my channel. We have a lot of fascinating fun with language here, and I'd love to have you. And tell me something. Have you learned to embrace your accent while at the same time continuing to build awareness and develop relaxed control over what happens with your mouth when you speak? It's a balance, I think. Like so many things in life, we need to keep a balance between two things that might seem to be in tension, but really do coexist. Loving and embracing your accent, and also working to develop more awareness and relaxed control over your speech. So I had fun hanging out with you. I hope you enjoyed it too. And you're taking away a fun practice phrase that you can come back to again and again. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.